Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome to Heavy Cardboard. Today, we're busting out Black Sonata for the second time, but this time with the Fair Youth expansion. Now, Black Sonata, originally designed, or I guess designed by John Kean. Yeah, John Kean, sorry. And published by Sideroom Games and a handful of others. And it was originally a print and play, I believe this was. And we played this some number of weeks ago. And come to find out that if you like deduction, logic, solo games, there's no reason not to pick this up. Plain and simple. And today we're going through the expansion. But y'all are going to decide what of the expansion we're going to use, because it's a modular expansion. Speaking of which, if y'all haven't heard the most recent podcast with Martin Fowler and myself, we touched on that subject of modular expansions and what we like or don't like, as it were, about these. And today actually features one of those. So without further ado, oolong today. All right, so here we go. Black Sonata. All right, so a couple of things. I recently taught this game. I don't think I need to reteach it, but what I am going to do is give an overview. Now, for the base game, everything that you see basically from here over this way, and me knocking over the pawn, all of that is base game stuff, okay? Everything from the Fair Youth Rendezvous on up, all the way up into including those markers there, is all expansion stuff. So what I'm going to do is give an overview of the game first. Then I'm going to talk about each of the different modules that are included in the Fair Youth expansion, and then allow y'all to give some feedback as to which you want us to include. Then we will set the game up proper. I just kind of have it set up here as if we were playing the base game, and then we'll go from there. All right? So the goal of the game is to, well, let me back up. Before I even do that, let me go ahead and read the story and the aim of the game. I think this does a really good job of this. So, the identity of the Dark Lady from Shakespeare's sonnets has eluded scholars and historians for more than 4 centuries. In Black Sonata, you will pursue the elusive lady through the streets and alleyways of Elizabethan London, catching glimpses and whispers which may yield clues to her identity. However, not all of the evidence is clear. You will need to sharpen your wits if you are to finally unmask the Dark Lady before she slips quietly from the pages of history and is lost. Black Sonata, a solitaire hidden movement deduction game, ages 12 and up, etc. Aim of the game. You're going to track, we collectively are going to track the Dark Lady as she flits through Shakespeare's London circa 1600. If you manage to find her, you may gain a clue to her identity before she slips away once more. You must acquire enough clues to deduce her key characteristics and confront her before she escapes for good. If you can successfully catch and unmask her, then you will win fame, respect, and the game. All right, so the gist of this is we have a pre-constructed deck here called the Stealth deck. This is going to be, we're going to be allowed to go through this a total of 3 times. And by the end of the third time, we are going to hopefully be able to visit these locations and catch glimpses of the Dark Lady to acquire clues as to her characteristics. We must match all 3 characteristics by the end of the game to be able to confront her and win the game. Now, winning the game consists of having enough clues, having deduced what the 3 characteristics are of her, and doing so before the timer of the deck ends. Now, for the standard game, we're going to go through the deck, you'll see 3 times. We're going to have the number 2. This will be at the bottom of the card. As we go through this deck, when we reveal it, we then will flip it over to the one side, put it to the bottom of the deck, go through it again, and then put this at the bottom when we see that revealed. So in other words, 3 times through the deck. If we have not been able to confront her by then, we will lose the game. Now, on our turn, how a turn works in this game, in the base game, is we are going to update the Dark Lady's location. So these markers over here are going to correspond to where these symbols are out here on the map, where the possible locations that she can move. She's always going to move to one adjacent location. So we will cycle through this deck as we go. So we update the Dark Lady's location, and then on our turn, in the base game, we can do one of 4 actions. We can either move our pawn to an adjacent location. So for instance, if we were to start here in St. Paul's, then we would either be able to move to Cripplegate, we'd be able to move to Cornhill, or Blackfriars. Okay, one adjacent spot. So we can move our pawn to an adjoining location, and when we do so, we take the adjoining, or we take the associated card and add it to our available clues down here, or to the places we visited and clues, which will kind of be in this area over here. Or, in lieu of moving, we can search for the Dark Lady at our current location and gain a clue card, or in lieu of gaining a clue card, if we are successful, we can confront her, which is the last thing in the game. Or we can use a fog card action, which are going to be this card, this deck of cards, which is going to allow us to do something usually good, but not always, and we must carry that out, or we could just pass. Rinse and repeat until either we see this at the bottom of the deck where it says you lose, or we're able to confront her successfully. That's the base game. I think that sums it up pretty well, okay? However, a moment here. There we go. There we go. That's better. All right, cool. All right. Now we have, so that is what we already did a playthrough of. Okay, so you can go back into the archives, look at that, take a look if you want to watch the playthrough of that. I thought it was pretty good. I think it was a stellar example of what a solo game can be if you like logic deduction games. Now, the expansion has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different modules. Honestly, I would be willing to play with up to 4 of them. We do not have to include them all, but I will go over the gist of what all of them are. Okay, real quick. Now, the rulebook is a small rulebook, as you can see, for the expansion right there. All right, but I will use, now I have not played with any of the expansion, but honestly, they're all simple enough to where I think being able to come into it cold is going to be just fine. So, I'll go ahead and read the little intro on this one. All right. The Dark Lady is not the only mysterious character to haunt Shakespeare's sonnets. Black Sonata, The Fair Youth includes several expansions, again, it's going to be a total of 5 of them, that may be added to the base game separately or in any combination. The Fair Youth and The Rendezvous add further deduction tasks. Okay, so in other words, not only would we have to discover the Dark Lady, we would have to discover them respectively as well. While the Darker Ladies replace those from the base game for a slightly harder challenge. So there are, let me see how many different, there are 6 different sets, or 6 different pairs of foliage there that come in the base game. So there are 12 different Dark Ladies that could be. The Darker Ladies has 4 suits, 3 cards each for an additional 12 cards. These will replace those. More on those in a little bit. The Rival Poet comes in 2 forms, either one that makes the game easier or one that makes the game harder. Obviously, we would choose the harder one, and that is where the Rival Pawn comes into play. And all that is making our life more miserable. And the waypoints and traces provide tools to help track the Dark Lady as she flees through London. It's kind of a helpful reminder thing, and yeah, a little bit of a cheater that will make the game a little bit easier, okay, having gone through all of these. So the Fair Youth, And let me go ahead and be clear. The Fair Youth, when I was going through reading all these, this is the one that interests me the least. But I figure we'll go through them here and then on our way up, because that's the order that they're in the rule book here. The Fair Youth has passed through the city and is now hiding out somewhere in London. You have to deduce his location and catch him there. It uses all the rules of the base game, but adds one further option during your turn. You may ask a bystander which direction the Fair Youth went when he passed through their current location. So what we're trying to do is we not only have to deduce where the Dark Lady is and her characteristics, but we also have to deduce exactly where the Fair Youth is in addition to doing so. All right? The Fair Youth always travels the shortest path to his hideout. Let me back up here. To do so, you place the Fair Youth card on top of the current location key. Align the cards. So if you're familiar with the, as we went through the last one, you'll see that each of the locations has a little hole punched out of it, as you can see right there. And so it's going to line up something to the effect of, like, we would do something like this, like that. We would flip it over, and there we go. It is theater, as an example, right? Just whatever. There we go. You'll see a landmark present in the next location to which the Fair Youth passed from here. You may optionally use the arrow tokens, that's what the little hands are there, to indicate the possibilities. The Fair Youth always travels the shortest path to his hideout, though in some cases there may be two paths that are equally short. If you're in the current location of the Fair Youth then the bystander will mistakenly, aka lie to you, and tell you what direction he went the last time. You ask the bystanders at several locations to deduce where the Fair Youth is hiding, remembering that the information gained from his current location is misleading. You have to travel to his location and confront him. And doing so, you add 20 points if you do so to your final score at the end of the game. If not, if he's eluded you, subtract 20 points from your score. That's the one that's least interesting to me. The next one is the rendezvous. The rendezvous is one landmark has special meaning to Shakespeare and his Dark Lady. Perhaps they would tryst beneath a tree or in a dark corner of a church. Maybe they would visit the theater together or shop or drink. Your task is to discover which of the 7 landmark types is the special rendezvous and unmask the lady at a matching location. All right, so one thing I didn't mention is the Fair Youth has one for each of the locations. You're going to shuffle these up and you're going to choose one of these and you're going to set this one aside, and that's where he is. Okay, that's the Fair Youth. We are going to do the same here for the rendezvous location. Choose one, place it face down. The other 6 are removed from the game. Uses all the rules of the base game, adds a further option. So I mentioned we may move, we may, let me go through the various actions that you can take on your turn. You can move, you can search for the Dark Lady, use a fog card or pass, or you may seek the rendezvous. To do so, you place the rendezvous card on top of the current location key, hold the cards together, flip them over. In the keyhole, you'll see a number, as you can see, as shown there. The landmark you seek is present in at least one location that is the indicated number of steps away. All right? So, for instance, if we were in Blackfriars and we did the seek the rendezvous and we unmasked a number that was 2, that means either in Cripplegate, because 1, 2, 1, 2, and he will never backtrack, could be at Cornhill, 1, 2, or could be at Southwark. So in other words, yeah, those 3 locations. Then we can use the one of the cards that is unused to cover up the things that we know it's not, since it is always going to tell the truth on that. You have to deduce the landmark on the rendezvous card before confronting the Dark Lady. When you do confront her, first you have to turn over the rendezvous card, and the landmark must be present on that card or you lose. Plain and simple, you must do so or do it right or you lose. Then you reveal the Dark Lady. If all that's correct, add 15 points to your score. That's it. All right? So that is the rendezvous. I actually kind of like that one. It's a second thing to deduce, but it doesn't seem as difficult as the fair youth one. The rival poet, there is the passive, or I'm sorry, the elusive poet makes it easier. We're not even going to bother. The rival poet, the aggressive poet here. So what's going to happen is it's going to add a step on our turn. Normally we just update the Dark Lady's location and then it's our turn. Well, then instead of it being our turn, then we update the rival poet's location first, wherever they are out here on the board, and then we take our turn as normal. All right. On each turn, the aggressive poet will try to move one step towards the player's pawn, taking the shortest valid route. If there are two valid routes, they will take the rightmost option facing towards the player's pawn. Okay. In both cases, they'll never move into a location that has the same symbol as shown on the current stealth card. So even though could move closer, if that location has that symbol, they will not move there, and will not move if a fog card is showing on the stealth deck. All right. Then on your turn, you can never voluntarily move to where the aggressive poet is. So he basically blocks a location. And if the aggressive poet is moved to your location, then you must use your turn to move away. You can't do anything else. You must leave where the aggressive poet is. So, could be really frustrating. So it's just, he does everything in his power to get in our way and make our job harder. So that is the rival poet. The darker ladies, I've already covered pretty much. There are four suits of 3 cards each. They are harder than the base game ones. And yeah, the 4 suits, the clubs and hearts are easiest, then the diamonds, then the spades are the hardest on that. Pretty simple. And then finally, the waypoints and traces. Basically, if you know for a fact where she is, you can then put this little tracer mark on that location, and then you put that to the bottom of the stealth deck, and hey, when that comes up, you know exactly where she is. Because every time it's going to be in the same order. She's going to follow the same path, remember. The tracer here, that's the waypoint one. The tracer one has a 3 or 5, and you just count that back that many cards, put that in, and you know that you have 3 or 5 respectively turns until she ends up wherever, we put that marker to say we know she's going to be there in 3 to 5 turns. It's just a little cheater to help out with that. So, there you go. Southwark? I don't know. Work with me on it, guys. That's it. Those are the various modules. I like the idea of including the rendezvous and the darker ladies. I think I'm good with that. I would prefer, even though it's the name of the expansion, I would prefer to not do the dark youth or the fair youth for this one. And for the rival poet, I'm kind of indifferent on that, but I'll leave that up to y'all. So yeah, chime in, tell me what you think as far as what ones you do and don't want to include. I am going to also, wrong thing. I'm going to make this a little bit lighter in hindsight. Yeah, I like that a little bit better. There we go. All right. Southwark. Okay, fine. So be it. All right. So what you got? What you think? Again, I think we include the rendezvous. I would say no on the fair youth, because if we're going to include the other stuff, that's making it so much harder that I don't like that idea, honestly. But I think that would be a little overkill. And of course, Andrew says the fair youth and the darker ladies. Two, three, four. So 2, 3, 4. You're going to have to help me with that name. I mean, if we're going to add in all this complexity, all this difficulty, I mean, I'm taking those. I'm taking those as well. Rendezvous for sure, and I think the darker ladies for sure. And I would say no on the fair. It doesn't mean we can't play it again and do it again in the future. Roll a die for. Okay. I was unprepared for that. I did not have a die handy. Let me see if I can grab one. If there's one close, give me a moment. Hold on. Dee, 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 dee. I like that idea. There we go. I mean, I also like giving you all some agency on this. All right. Hey, Shrey. Oh, by the way, this is Shrey's copy of the game, so thank you, Shrey, for letting me borrow this. Vincent says, whatever makes it fun. All right, so Rendezvous in. So there. And I think the darker ladies is a good idea. So 2 and then... You know what? Instead of rolling a die, how about we do this? Rival poets. Heads is no, yes. Tails is no. Yes for the rival poet. And if that's the case, then I am going to include those. All right, cool. So all 4 of those, everything but the fair youth. All right, there we go. All right, so let's set this up. So these need to leave, and these need to leave. So those out of the game. These, I'm not going to do the hardest level since we're adding in all this other stuff. So how about we go with the second level? So we'll do one of the hearts, okay? So we'll go ahead and choose one of these. All right, pick one. Left, right, center. Pick one. And while y'all are doing that, I will set up the rest of this stuff. So the rendezvous, let's see, shuffle the 7 rendezvous. Okay, and then also pick a number 1 through 7 for the rendezvous. So left, right, center for those, and the rendezvous. There. All right, looks like left is going to, okay, that is going to be the dark lady right there. Okay. And let's see, what do we have? That is impressive. So everybody that's thrown a number has thrown a different number up. That is an impressive, unlikely thing. All right, so while you guys are picking numbers, I will figure out the darker ladies, replace dark ladies, shuffle them, check the top one, okay. Locate the other 2 with the same suit, place one of them face down near the board. Oh, by the way, that one should go away because that's from the base. And since right was the second most, that will be our clue card. That will go there once we have visited every location. And then that will get shuffled up with them and with the mask. Okay, so that is done. Other than that. All right, looks like 4 was the first one to get a multiple. Nope, check that, 7 was. All right, so it'll be the bottom one. Okay, so not looking because I don't want to see the suit that's on the bottom. And you know what? Actually, I'm going to do like this as well. There we go. So doing this off camera and not looking, obviously, at my hands. So that goes there and that goes there. That is set up. Y'all said 7. So this will go there. That is 7. Then we're going to use this as a clue for us just to be able to mark what things are not. Those are one of them that are out of the game. These are out of the game as well. Okay, so that is done. Now, I will say, yeah, how can I do this without, I think I can do it this way. So I'm going to show you all the face of the deck, just this part. So the stealth deck has 4 spots on the top row and 4 on the bottom. And you'll notice that the top card, because I chose at random the third one, you'll notice the third location is A. It goes from A to Z. So I've had to put these in alphabetical order like that, and then they are ready to go. But you can cut the deck as many times as you want to randomize it, because there are theoretically 16 different orientations of this deck, depending on which of the 4 here or the 4 there that you choose to use. Okay? And you can do it Z to A or A to Z as long as it's in the same order. So we're just going to cut it, say 4 times. That's 1, that's 2, that's 3, and that's 4. Now, they're all in the same order as they were A to Z, but we don't know what letter we're starting with. And then this card will start on the 2, and that will be the beginning of our deck, of our stealth deck, like so. So we have the Darker Ladies done. We have that deck set up. We have the Rendezvous set up. The only thing we have not done is the Rival Poet. All right, so the Rendezvous, or I'm sorry, the Rival Poet, let's start out. After placing the player pawn in its starting location, we may choose anywhere, by the way. And I guess we should point out that she could be in Southwark. Just work with me on it. I'm going to butcher the names. Eastcheap. Are those the only 2 pubs? Yeah, those are the only 2 pubs. Okay. So, I mean, we could start in one of those locations. But after we've chosen our starting location, place the Rival Poet pawn in the location with the matching color. Okay. I mean, I think we start in Eastcheap. I think we started near there last game, didn't we? I think we start there in Eastcheap. That is kind of a red rust color type color. Got that crooked. Sorry about that. So rust color. He will start in St. Paul's. This, I'm going to keep there so I don't forget the various actions or what happens. And there we go. I think we are completely set up. Okay. So, yeah. You know what? I don't think we start in Eastcheap. The reason is, she's going to move. For the very first thing that happens is she is going to move. So 1, 2, 3, 4 locations that she could move to, 2 of which are right there. So I think we start at London Bridge. I like that idea. Okay. So the Dark Lady is going to go ahead and move. So we will then flip that over. And that will go to, she has now moved to somewhere with a boat. So from here, could not be Bishopsgate, could not be Cornhill, could be Liberty of the Clink or London Bridge, and that's it. So we'll move that there and that there. So those are the 2 locations that she could be. Next, the Aggressive Poet's turn. Every turn moves 1 step towards the player. Never moves into a location with the current stealth symbol. So, moves towards us. 1, 2, 3, 4 spot path that way. 1, 2, 3, so he would move this way. Does not match that symbol, so he can move. It's not a fog card. He's going to move 1 there. He moves the cornel. Okay? All right. All right. So, never moves into fog, never moves into a location with the current stealth symbol. Given a choice, will always take the rightmost facing the player pawn, and you can't enter his location. All right, so now it's our turn. We can either move somewhere and grab one of the cards. We could search for the Dark Lady in our current location. And by the way, technically, we should have taken London Bridge when we started, because that was, we entered that for the first time. So we have the London Bridge card already. Okay. So this is going to be, oh, that's a good point. He would not start, you're right, I changed from Eastcheap to London Bridge, thank you. He would have started, that is like a black color, so he would have started in Blackfriars. Thank you. Good call on that, Max. So 1, 2, 3 away, 1, 2, 3, 4 away. So he would have moved here, but it has a boat symbol, so therefore would not move there, because 1, 2, 3 is closer than 1, 2, 3, 4. So he will not move. Good call. Thanks, Max. All right, so now it's our turn. I mean, we got a 50-50 shot, and I don't know that it's going to get better than that. So I think we ought to go ahead and search for her. So when we choose to go ahead and search for the Dark Lady, take the top card off the fog deck, which y'all have not seen me shuffle this, so. There we go. And we'll cut it. There we go. We'll take the top card off the fog deck, put it down here so we can't see what the next location is. There we go. Then, I did that wrong. This will go underneath the location, and if we see her silhouette, we are correct. We see her silhouette, and you know what? We can do it this way. There we go. So, congrats. We have found her. We know where she is. Okay? Therefore, I lie with her and she with me. And in our faults, by lies, we flattered be. All right. So we have found that. If the Dark Lady appears as a black silhouette, then you may reveal the top card of the clue deck by sliding it out from beneath the mask card. So in other words, we get the top card there. We'll do that in a minute. Place reveal clues down here. Okay, excellent. Discard the stealth card from the game and place the location key into the area for a visited location. So this card is removed from the game. We'll just set it off over there. We have London Bridge, and we will now grab this deck, bring it over here, and we get the top card. This is going to give us some clue. Okay, so Aline Florio, as you see, the three symbols over here. The symbols represent three characteristics of the Dark Lady, and let me go ahead and go through what these are. That is married, has a documented link to Shakespeare, and is literary or creative. That's what for Aline Florio. And also, we know that Aline Florio is not our Dark Lady. But what we do know is our Dark Lady is the heart symbol here. So therefore, one of these three are definitely going to be our one of the characteristics. Only one of them, not two, not three, not zero. If our Dark Lady were a spade, it would either be 0 or exactly 2 of them. But as it is, as you can see for all the others, it is exactly one of those. All right? All right, so now we just have that, and that's excellent. So we know that, let's see, this is a possibility. We'll go, let's see, that, and that. All three of these, one of these. We'll do like that. That means only one of those that are stacked like so, are the characteristics. The other two will not be. Okay, we know that. That's cool. We'll go ahead, just set that there for now. Boom, done. Okay? I need y'all to also help remind me that we also have the rendezvous that we could do things at. So instead of passing, we will probably check for the rendezvous stop, or seek the rendezvous is the term. Hey, Shrey says those 50-50s didn't work out last game. Fair, and Jess agrees, but I'm just, hey. So now, here's the interesting thing. Since we are playing with these, I like the idea that we go ahead, we know for a fact that she is at London Bridge. So we can go ahead and get rid of that. And we can go ahead and put this down right there at the bottom of the deck. Because we know for a fact that she is there. Now we can also count back 3 or, if we want, 5 steps. I like the idea of 3. And we will count 3 spots back. 1, not counting the bottom, the timer card. So 2 and 3, and not looking at the symbols. So like this. We can then put that. Come on. There we go. There. And you are allowed to reuse those. So there we go. So 3 steps from there. We could use the little step marker when we get there. I don't exactly know how to use that. Let me go back through that. To trace. Add the footprint token to the map when that goes out so you're reminded that it's 3 to 5 steps. Okay. All right. 3 or 5. There you go. Cool. Good. That was about as good of a first turn as we could possibly have. Okay. Now that we have done discovering where the Dark Lady is, regardless of whether we were successful or not, the lady now flees. Advance the stealth deck by 1 card for every clue that we now have. We have 1 clue. That's what these are. And you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, now that we've cleared out this space, let's go ahead and put our clues up here. So that is 1 clue that we have. So she is going to flee 1. Move the cards as a block so as not to see them, but take care to check among them for the countdown card. Right. So we are going to move 1 card there. So she will now move to a pub. We know that she is there or she is there. And now to the beginning of a new round. So what happens? She moves. So from there, she moves. And there's a description of what the different symbols are here. Let me get those. I cannot remember. I cannot remember what the symbols were. Does anybody? And clearly I'm failing at trying to find them in the rule book. I apologize. Let's move on. All right. So she then moved from here. She could move possibly to there or to there. Now, you put out these other symbols, like theoretically she could be there or there, but we know for a fact that she was there, so those are the only 2 applicable locations. Okay? Oh, right. It's here on the board. Thanks. All right. A church, commercial area, playhouse, riverside, rural, Shakespeare's residence, or tavern. So, there you go. Either Liberty of the Clink or Bishopsgate. So, now, he will move 1 closer to us. We are here at London Bridge. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. There is a house symbol. He will not move. Okay, cool. So far hasn't been difficult. Which direction do y'all want to go? Southwark? or East Cheap. Choose. Yeah, I knew they were somewhere. I just couldn't find them. I told you, this is going to be interactive, so help me out. I can make a case either direction. Either way, we're going to get a new location out of it. So I think East Cheap feels the more useful away from the poet. So let's see. 1, 2, 3. He would. Yeah, I guess East Cheap would be. I agree. So let's go to East Cheap. We grab East Cheap. There, I just have them alphabetical. There's no reason these aren't hidden or anything. So there we go. That's our action. We moved. Boom. Done. And now the Dark Lady moves. She moves to a rowboat location. So from here, she could theoretically be there. No. From here, no, no, and no. So we know for a fact that she's in Blackfriars. Okay, well, we can take that off the board. We know that she's there. Now would have been a good time to also use the marker as well. So, paying attention, we know that when this symbol comes up, she goes this way. Help us try and remember that. That is, she will do that every time when we go through the deck. So remember that. All right, now the poet will move, and 3 away this way. Finally, he moves to St. Paul's. So it's our turn. So, 2 things make sense to me. We either move to Cornhill, which is towards the poet, but if he comes there, then we have to move, and I don't see that as a huge deal. So, because we will want to move to St. Paul's or Cripplegate. So moving to Cornhill is not bad. The other thing that we can do also is, where did I put my, no, it's underneath here. We could also search for the rendezvous. Here in East Cheap. If we meet, we just have to bug out. All we are allowed to do is move. We cannot do any other action. I like the idea of moving to Cornhill. Plus, it's a new location. Not worry about the rendezvous yet. I like that idea. Let's move to Cornhill. Now, why this card is here is once we have gotten all the locations, we then can flip this as another clue at any point. It's a free clue for us. However, it adds a clue. She gets to move further. Keep that in mind, but it's going to be a good thing. Okay? All right. So we're done. She's now moving. She moves to a rural location, which cannot be there, cannot be to St. Paul's. She is moving up to Clerkenwell. And now he will move. He will move towards our location. Doesn't have that. There's no fog card there. So in other words, we have to bug out on our turn now. So we will choose to move to Cripplegate. Okay. She will move. And now, she is either at the gatehouse or to Cripplegate. Y'all decide what we want to do. Do we want to try and find her there at Cripplegate and search for her? I think it makes the most sense. I feel like it, but I would like your input on that. Oh, I happen to grab the Keep Calm die. Seems appropriate. I think so. I mean, why would we not? Either way, we're going to know where she is, and we can trace her movements then here and then back if we're wrong. So I think either way it helps us. I think so. Yeah, I think searching is just the right idea. All right, so we will take a fog card. We will then place it over top of that so we can't see the next location. Oh, stop that. We are in Cripplegate. Right, goes that way. There we go. And let's see, are we correct? Boom! We are 2 for 2. Make but my name thy love, and love that still. And then thou lovest me, for my name is Will. God, I hate this. I hate that is not for me. This goes out of the game. We now know that she is in Cripplegate. That is awesome. We then get to take another clue. All right, so Amelia Lanier, go with it. These symbols are, has court connections, is musical, and literary creative. And because it's a heart, we know it's one of those only. So now, okay, we know that. Oops. We know it's exactly one of those. So let's see. So this one is on both cards, but does not necessarily mean that it will be there. And then we can add that and that as possibilities. Kind of branches off of that one, like so. I hope that makes sense, right? To where it's going to be one of those, one of those. And obviously, once we prove one of the cards right, it will help us with the other branch there. But nonetheless, that helps. So we now have 2 clues. So she will now bug out 2 spots from there. And we are not allowed to see, so this is off camera and I'm not looking. So those go to the bottom as a block. And that is what is there. So she will move 2 spots. So where could she have moved from here? 2 away, going 1, 2. That is a possibility. She could have gone 1, 2, 1, 2. So that is a possibility. She could have gone to Bishopsgate. She could not have made it to Liberty of the Clink. So she's in one of those 3 locations. Okay? So she now left. It is now her turn. She will move. And from there, she will move to a cemetery. So from there, it'd be there, there, and could not have been there because can't move to a cemetery, so we now know it's that. So from Cripples Gate, she either went somewhere and went back to Cripples Gate, or she went to Blackfriars, and then from Blackfriars to either of those 2 locations. So cemetery, he will now move to where we are, because it's not a cemetery symbol, which means we need to move. Now the question is, where do we move to? We could move back to Cornhill, does not get us a new location. We could move to St. Paul's, which is a new, or to Clerkenwell, but obviously she will not be in either of those locations, so now we would just be kind of 1 step behind her. All right, welcome, Alec. I mean, St. Paul's is centrally located. I feel like St. Paul's is the right place to move, and we can't do anything else. Oh, that's actually a really good point, Calcicus. I think that's right. One of these is a must then, right? Because if it's, let's work through the clues that we have right now before we talk about where we're going to move, or while you guys talk about moving. If it is the literary, then none of those and none of those, and it must be those three. So that's obvious. I mean, that's awesome if it is the literary one. If it's not the literary one, we take that out, and then it would be one of these and one of those, which means then one of these. So if that's the case, then we know it's got to be, no, because it could be both of them. We can't say that yet. So it's one of those, if not both, and one of that, one of that. Okay, yeah, I'll buy that. I like that. Everybody seems to be in agreement that go somewhere while we're near it, get it. St. Paul's. Now, Clerkenwell is off in the boonies. So if we were to move to Clerkenwell, we would at least get the clue and be done. We might not have to go back to Clerkenwell. Just keep that in mind. We do have to go to Blackfriars. Yeah, let's go St. Paul's. All right, so we'll go to St. Paul's. We're done. She's moving. Moving to Shakespeare's residence. So from there, she moves, can't be there. Could be from there to there or there to there. I think we keep moving over and get to Blackfriars. I think that makes the most sense. I didn't grab the St. Paul's card, did I? Did not. There we go. All right. Oh, and he was supposed to move before we did, technically. We were at St. Paul's. He would come there, and then we would move to Blackfriars. We're done. Okay. Yep. All right, now she moves to a cemetery. Cemetery can only be one of two places. There or there. She moved. Cemetery. He's going to move to Blackfriars. I think now we go ahead and hit Clerkenwell. We could come down to Liberty of the Clink, but I think now's a good time to go up and take care of that location. So we'll go to Clerkenwell. I'm not going to move them every time, so there. All right, she moves. All right, so she's going to a commercial area. The only possibility now is that she was here. She now moved to Cornhill. And he comes up to Clerkenwell. This isn't annoying at all. And now it's our turn. So no matter where we go, it's going to be somewhere we've gone already. So be it Cripplegate or Blackfriars. And I think we could try and head her off. I think we go to Cripplegate and then maybe Shoreditch from there. I mean, if we come down this way, I think heading up to Shoreditch makes more sense. So Cripplegate, I think. That's also a fair point, though. More symbols. It blocks the rival. I hadn't thought of that. There's a good chance to put some distance between us going down that way. All right, you make a fair point, James. I'm good with that. We'll go to Blackfriars. Her turn. Going to a Shakespeare residence, which from there, we know she's here. So it's either to Bishopsgate or to Cripplegate. So now he cannot follow us to Blackfriars. So the obvious move is to go to St. Paul's. But do we go to Liberty of the Clink, again, just to try and put some distance between us and the rival? Or do we go ahead and search for the rendezvous? So if we were to seek the rendezvous, we place the rendezvous card on top of the current location. So we'd take the Blackfriars card, put it on top of this, and then see what number shows up. And then counting the steps from the current location, you go in any direction, can't double back. And that is going to be the rendezvous location. 2 steps away, 1 step, 3 steps, whatever. Maybe she gets a bit parched and heads down to Eastcheap. It's possible. All right, let's do it. We'll go to Liberty of the Clink. The names here just cracked me up, by the way. Okay. She moves. All right, so she's going to Cornhill. I'm not sure where she was, but we know that she is now there. And he will come down there closer because good to go. I mean, we could keep trying to move. So where would she move from there? Cemetery, house, pub, or I guess church, not cemetery. So cathedral, church, whatever. How many locations are left? Southwark. Oh, I'm just going to... Southwark, Shoreditch, and Bishopsgate. These 3. I think we keep moving over. She moves. Maybe she feels a bit parched. Nope. But the good news is we put in some distance because he can't move there. So she's either Bishopsgate or Cripplegate. And those are the last 2 that we haven't visited. At some point, we do have to find the rendezvous. So those are the 2 locations left. So my question for y'all is, do we move to London Bridge or seek the rendezvous? And to be honest with you, I really like the idea of seeking the rendezvous. Because if it's a 1 or a 2, that really limits. Because there's no branch. It's either there there, there, or there. If it's a 3, throw all that out. I think we do, we seek the rendezvous. This is when we get to that card, we know that's the location that she is. That's from the expansion. Yeah, I think we do the rendezvous here. So, let me get that. Here you go. Place the rendezvous card on top of the current location. So we are in Southwark, or Southwark. So like so, like that. It is 1 away. The landmark you seek is present in at least one location, the indicated number of steps away. Okay. So 1 away. So that means possibilities are, now these, I'm just going to use the 1 as a reminder that it is 1 away from that. So it is 1, 2, 3, 4 symbols. So what is it not? It is not a rural location. It can be a theater. It can be a commercial district. It cannot be a church. It can be his house. It cannot be a pub. So we've eliminated those. It's one of those 4 symbols. Okay. All right. It is now her turn. She's going to a rural location. The 2 options are there or there. Rural, he can move closer, so there's that. It's the best we got. I think the obvious thing now is to go ahead and just move to London Bridge. Her turn. To his residence, which could be there, there, or there. He now moves there. So now, what if we were to seek the rendezvous again right here? If it's a 2, there, there, it doesn't really help us, does it? Hey, Lars. I think we move to Eastcheap then. Okay, she moves. She's moving to the pub. Wow. So, no, 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 no. So she is here. Well, that was convenient. She's got to be there. So I think we search for her in Eastcheap. Get another clue. She moved. He moves. Now it's our turn. I keep forgetting his turn. Yeah, I mean, we know for a fact that she's there. We are getting some really, really good luck, no doubt. Oh, there she is. Yet do not so, but since I am near slain, kill me outright with looks and rid my pain. So, oh, we shouldn't have seen that. Sorry. I failed. I got excited. I did not. My bad. My bad. Okay. So we get another clue. All right, what do we have? We have Lucy Morgan. So it is exactly 0 or 2 of those symbols. Okay, so now let's put it all together and see what we know. So if it's 2, it would be one of these. So it doesn't have to be, it does have to be that one. So it would have to be the heart. And it could be that, which then means it's that. I don't think we have enough clues yet. It could also be that and that, but it could not be that and that. Or it could it be none of those? Let's see. So if it's not this, and it's not this, that means it's musical. Musical matches that one. And then it could be that and one of those. So no, we don't have enough. It could be one from those two, one from those two, and that. So it could be. What's up, Brianna? But we know where she is, so that's awesome. But now she's going to bug out for 3. So now looking at it's 1, 2, 3 goes to the bottom, just making sure the timer, it did not go to the bottom. Okay. So she went 3 away from here. 3 away is 1, 2, 3 could go to the theater there. 1, 2, 3 could reach the theater there. 1, 2, no. 1, 2, 3 could be there. Yeah, it could be at any one of those. And we do not know. And he will come and hang out with us in East Cheap, which means we have to bug out. I mean, at this point, grabbing Bishopsgate, bring that over. That seems all right. Huh. Theater to theater means she didn't go up there. She's down here in this corner. Okay. Which means he's going to come there. And we'll go and grab Shoreditch. Done. All right. So it's our turn. We did Shoreditch. So now, if we want, we can reveal that clue. It's just added to our collection of clues. It just means she's going to move even further. Do we go ahead? Oh, thank you. I moved her 3, and then she moved. No, I think I did, didn't I? Yeah, I did. I moved her 3, which was to a theater. Then she moved for her turn to a theater. So that was her second move. I think I did that right, right? Am I right, or did I miss one? Because the previous one was the theater. So she went theater to theater. So she went there to there or there to there. And he can't move up to us up there. So it was our turn. Okay, all right, cool. I did do it right. All right. So do we reveal it? I mean, it's free information. Well, free-ish. I think so. Let's go ahead and do it. We have Jane Devenant. Exactly one of those is going to be the case. Okay. Ooh, and the spades. Less than 3 of them. Meaning 0, 1, or 2. That's difficult. All right. So what do we have? We have exactly one of these. So it could be this one. If it's this one, then it's one of those. Can't be that. Or it's that. It's one of those. Oh boy. Okay. Well, let's do it this way. These 2 cards are represented by that. This card, it's one in that row. And Lucy Morgan says it's either 0. If it's 0, it means not that, and not that. Is that possible that it's 0? So if it's not that, or that, sorry, that, or that, then it would have to be this, and one of those. Could that work? Couldn't be this. Sorry. So it would have to be that, which then eliminates this and this. She eliminated that and that. So no, it can't be 0. It has to be 2. Let me double check that. If it's 0, that means it can't be this, it can't be this, and it can't be this. According to that, if it's 0. Then, one of these, which is one of those, this, it would have to be that, and this, it would have to be one of that, so it'd have to be that one, which means it couldn't be this and that. So it can't be 0. It's got to be 2 of them. Okay, that is proven. So it's now 2. Okay, so it's got to be 2 of those. It could be, according to this, this and this. And if it's that, then it can't be that. That's doable because this branch says one of those. This says one of these, which that would be that. So that's legit. And then here, it would be that one. So it is possible that it's this, this, and this. So the top 2 are possible. What about top and bottom? Top and bottom says it would be this and this, which negates those 4, and so it would have to be the rattle. The rattle, it could not be the ring, could not be the musical note. Possible. And that suits both of those. So there are multiple possibilities there, according to this card. Okay. Well, we know it's got to be 2. So I feel like we're 1 clue away from being able to solve this thing. At least for her, but we still haven't figured this stuff out. And by the way, I did that wrong. That should be there, there, and there. That's our little clue marker. There we go. All right, it's her turn. Row, row, row your boat to the riverside, which, to the riverside, she keeps swapping spots. She keeps bouncing between them. First to the theater, then to the other one. Okay. And he comes up and hangs out with us. If she's smart, she goes to the church next, which would be maddening. I think we... Cripplegate? You know what? Martin, you're right. Has to be a heart. Because it cannot be both of those. Because if it's both of those, that doesn't work. You're right. Heart is confirmed. Good call. I like that. And yeah, I think we go to Cripplegate. Her turn. So, Uwe. All right. We now have, we're going to skip this, but we have 3 turns to get here. 1, 2, 3. That's where she's going to end up. Okay, so that will go to the bottom. And now she's going to the pub. The pub means she's there. And the pub, he will come and annoy the hell out of us, so we will move to Cornhill. Done. No, we can rendezvous. Thanks, Kyle. We can rendezvous. Oh, when the rival's in the same location. No, the only thing you can do is move. That's it, Shrey. All right. She's moving there. He cannot move to Cornhill. Did I miscount? Like, did I do that wrong? We'll move to Eastcheap. All right. So we have now uncovered that. So a moment while I make sure I do this right. Immediately rotate or flip it to show the next lower card. Place it at the bottom of the deck, revealing a new top card. All right, so that goes there. She goes to the pub. He will come closer there. We know she's here, and we know she's moving to London Bridge next turn. And because we know she's moving to London Bridge, she's going to come around this path. We remember that. So we can either search for her or run. No, the next card is going to be either the coin, the commercial, or the Riverside. We're going. No, I think we go ahead and seek her. Yeah, I think so. And this is Eastcheap. I mean, we know what the next card is, but I digress. Nailed it. Yet do not so, but since I am near slain, kill me outright with looks and rid my pain. Okay. Oh, we already read that one, didn't we, from that? Yep. So that will go away. We nailed that. Well, it's going to be one or two of those. So, okay. Well, we know it's the heart. It could be the rattle. It could be the crown. I don't know if that helps us at all. Mary Fitton. Oh, boy. So it must be one of this. This and that. One of those. If it's either of those, it can't be the quill. If it's not the quill, then it would be crown. And then it would have to be those. And that suffices. I don't think we have enough. Can't be heart, crown, chain, because it wouldn't satisfy Jane. That didn't really help us a lot, did it? Yep. All right, one more it is. But unfortunately, all right, we're going to move this out of the way now. There. Unfortunately, she's going to now move 5. And give me a second to, let's see. Okay, they're activated, but do not count towards the number of cards to move. Okay, so I need to be careful. I'm going to do this off screen. So she's moving 5. 1. That's going to come out. We know that's gone. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And going to a rural location there. So from here, theoretically could be there, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. From previous time through the deck, I feel pretty confident that she's up there in Clerkenwell at this point. All right, so it's going to move there. And she bounces around this area for a while, doesn't she? I think we run the risk. So if we go there, the problem is we know that she, I think, is going to come down here, which means he's going to follow us there. If we went to Bishopsgate, that's only going to help us with one step, and it's not moving the right way. Oh, back up. She moved to there, now it's her turn. I apologize. And her turn, we don't know. It prevents you from searching for her that turn. However, you may optionally use the fog card's special action. Take the top card from the fog deck, replace it here, and use that card. We could. I say we go ahead and do that. So we know she moved. So she moved from there to there or there. It's now his turn. And never moves in the fog. So he's not going to... Hold on. We had moved here previously last turn. Sorry. Wait a minute. Back up. Golly, hold on. She bugged out. He had just moved. We moved there. Making sure I didn't forget something. Hold on. He was there. We were there. She bugged out. Then it's her turn. She moved to there or there, and then he moves there. It's a fog card, and we can't do anything about it. So now we move there. Is that right? Hold on. Golly. Damn it, Eddie. She was there. We searched, found her. Got the clue. She left. Then it's her turn. After she leaves, it's a fog card. He does not move in the fog, and that's where we are. Okay, so it's our turn. We could do the fog. We can't move to Cornhill because we can't move to where he is. I think we take the fog card. Yeah, so he stays there. I think we do. So we're going to take this fog card, put it down. Turn over the fog card on top of the stealth deck, read its special action. Then place the card at the bottom of the fog deck unless you're instructed to remove it from the game. The set itself sees not till heaven clears. Discard this card and reveal a new clue card. That's awesome. That was fortunate. Okay, so that's removed from the game. And Whatley, one of those. And I feel like that, don't know if that really helps us. Yes, it does. Okay. All right. We have already proven that the heart it must be. So therefore, it can't be the chain. And it can't be the note. We know that. Okay. So if that's the case, actually our two possibilities are still possible. So it didn't prove anything. Ay vey. But the good news is it did not cost her 6 movement to leave. Yeah. Okay, so it doesn't help. I guess you're right. All it did was prove. Yeah, you're right. That didn't help. Oh well. All right, it's her turn. She moves back to the rural location, which could be there or there, but I believe she's in Clerkenwell. He moves down to us, and we have to bug out. Don't forget, we still got to do that, y'all. What's up, Cray? So where do we leave to? And that comes out as well, technically. When I get to that card, I'll just remove it. We can always use this back again when we're positive of where she is. So that will be helpful. Cornhill, he's going to be able to follow no matter what. We know that. If we go to Bishopsgate, he might not be able to follow. But going up Shoreditch, I don't think helps us. We've got to get him off of us. I don't know how to do that. How the hell do we get rid of him? Where do we move? If we go to Cornhill, she's going to move. And then I think we go to St. Paul's. And I think we have a chance of her moving there. But, oh, then he wouldn't be able to. So, yeah, I guess we go to Cornhill. Bishopsgate, he wouldn't have been able to follow, but we're trying to get over that direction. So, technically, she could be there, there, or there, although I think she's here. But I'm not positive. I can't remember. So then he comes here. I'm moving to St. Paul's. Her turn. There we go. So the only possibilities are St. Paul's, which he can't follow, Clerkenwell, or that's it. So now, here's the thing. Do we search for her at St. Paul's with there's a good chance that she's there? But she's going to be able to move 7, which is literally anywhere on the board. And it powers through 7 cards in the deck. But it should prove out everything except for that. I think we do. But I want confirmation from y'all first. Hey, Adrian. Come on, y'all can't go silent on me now. I think she's at St. Paul. She could be at Clerkenwell, but Shrey says search. All right. I like the solidarity there. Calgicus. All right. Where are we? We are St. Paul's. Yeah. Have a good walk, Martin. Wah, wah, wah. She's at Clerkenwell. All this world well knows, yet none knows well, to shun the heaven that leads men to this hell. My bad. Okay. But we now know that she is there. Okay, so we know she's there. We're going to go ahead and put that at the bottom. And then I think we count backwards 3 or 5. I say we go 3, not counting that card. 1, 2, 3. Oh, and I have to take that one out. A moment. There it is. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Done. So we know she's there. And now she's going to move 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And looking at this side, we did not pass the timer. Okay, 6 away from that is pretty much anywhere on the board. There, 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 or there. I ain't got a damn clue. That was her bugging out, and now she moves to a rural area. Well, that helps eliminate things. She either goes there or she goes there. And now he goes and comes and hangs out there in St. Paul's. Yeah, it really is great, Drew. I agree. All right, well, we're moving. I mean, try and get him away from us. I think we have to go there. So she's either going there, there, or there, and he ain't following. What do y'all want to do? We could seek the rendezvous still. We could search for her. But if we search for her, there's a good chance that we're going to go through the deck that second time. Yeah, it is the same pattern as last time, James. You think she's in Cripplegate. I mean, we could move to Liberty of the Clink. Again, just to be able to, we would be trying to eliminate, get it away from him as well as seek the rendezvous. Or do we seek the rendezvous? What do we do? So, Lars says to move to Liberty of the Clink. James and Shrey say seek the rendezvous. Looking for one more. Because I kind of agree with Lars in a sense. Because if he's at Cripplegate, there's a good chance he's probably going to follow us to Liberty of the Clink through Blackfriars, if that's the case. I think I like the rendezvous idea as well. Let's do it. Blackfriars. Although I like where your head's at, Lars. And the verdict is 2 spots away. Okay. So let's take a look. 2 away from where we are. And can't double back. 1, 2, which is the house. 1, 2, which is the house, which is possible. 1, 2, which is commerce. 1, 2, which is the church, can't be, and can't, or the pub. Okay, well, that allows us to eliminate some. So commerce is possible, his house is possible. The theater is no longer possible, right? Because 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So his house? No, 1, 2. The church and pub have already been eliminated. So the only ones possible then, so that eliminates the Riverside and that eliminates the theater. There we go. And that was a 2 here. Okay. I like that. That was helpful. So now it's one of those 2 possibilities. All right, her turn. Well, we don't know. She moves there. She moves there. She from there or to there. She's in one of those locations, right? He can't move because the fog. So the only realistic things to do are to move down to Liberty of the Clink or to do the fog card. Up to y'all. We could pass. We can pass and stay there if we want. Which is viable. What do y'all want to do? You know what? I like where your head's at. If we were to go to Clerkenwell, that's going to, and then rendezvous, that tells us the answer. I like that. I like that a lot. We move up here. I really like that idea. Good call. I like that. I love that idea, in fact. Her turn. She's commerce. So she's in Cornhill now. James was right. We know that. So it's even movement, 1, 2, 1, 2. So he goes to the right, he goes to that. I think we rendezvous there, and this should tell us it's either going to be 1. Oh, God. Yeah, if it's 1, we know it's the house. If it's 2, it'll be commerce. There you go. Yeah, there we go. Clerkenwell. And there. Good call. It's 2 away. So 2 away from there would have to be the commerce. Because 2 away would be 1, 2. We know it's not that. 1, 2. We know it's not that. 1, 2. We know it's not that. A 1, 2. Oh, God. It still could be. Gah! That didn't work. Didn't see that one. All right, she moves. That's frustrating. Going to church. And he can't come see us. So, yeah, we have to get to Shoreditch to do it. 1 would be a house, 2 would be commerce. I agree with that. But we can't get there via Cripplegate, so we could just pass. I'm okay with just passing. We could go down to Blackfriars, but then we're 3 moves away as opposed to 2. And I don't know if moving to Blackfriars really helps us. Does it? Well, if it's a house, no, she could be going to Cripplegate. If it's a theater, it could be Shoreditch or Blackfriars. However, if it were the boat, then she would be where we are. You know what? We will move down there. And hopefully it's Riverside. Nope, theater. So she's either here with us or she's in Shoreditch. And either way, he moves there. It's our turn. What do we do, y'all? I hear you. I probably should have passed. I just really wanted to roll the dice, and that was poor. I have no idea. What do y'all want to do? Since passing was, well, passed upon. We either pass there, or we move back to, or search for her, or we move to Clerkenwell. Then we move to Clerkenwell, I think. So, well, let's see. If we were, just indulge me, if we were to go to Liberty of the Clink, and then next turn we rendezvous, 2 away would be here, and 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah, that does the same thing. So yeah, we'll move here. Done. Good call. And now she's going, oh, this is where she dances between the theater and everything else. So she was there. Ah. So if she, hold on, if she was there, that means she has to be here. Oh, we have a choice to make. And he can't move there. Huh. Well, we know she's there. I think we search for her, not worry about where she goes, and then search for the rendezvous the next turn. And I think then we just have to hunt her down, and we win the game. Am I thinking about this right? Because you would think the next clue has got to be the one that gives it to us. I think we have to search for her. Rendezvous next turn. Yeah, right? It's got to be what we do. What the hell? Clearly I screwed this up somehow. Clearly I miscounted somewhere. Which, if that's the case, honestly, at this point, I am completely bamboozled. Oh. I just don't think that it's possible for her to be up there, so I think I switched those. I don't think it's possible. Oh, that's frustrating. That's frustrating. My bad. It happens. So now she comes to the coasts. Well, either way, even if she were up here, it can't go to the coast, so now she has to come there. It's the only possible thing, to go theater and then Riverside. And he still can't go there, so we wasted one turn. Oh, wait, no, she should have bugged out. Oh, God. So she was there. Back up. Because now she's going to move 6. Oh, I screwed that up. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. That will go to the bottom. 5, 6. Those go. And now she goes to a pub. Oh, wow. That may have cost us. Oh, lordy, 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 I screwed that up. That is so aggravating. Don't do what I did, kids. And now she, for her turn, moves to a house. So it's there or there. Because she was at a pub. Still can't move there. He hasn't moved forever. All right. So now, it is 2 past where she started. Started here, moving this way. She is where we're at. I feel really confident that she is there. Because remember, she did this, right? At the beginning, because we just went through the beginning of the deck. She's got to be here. Correct me if I'm wrong, which it's entirely possible. I have the confidence of, well, no one right now. Because we started here where she was. She moved 2 past that. In the beginning of the game, she went down this way, correct? Well, she's going to... I don't think so, James. I don't think... I'm confident. We're going to do it. And if not, then I probably just blew the game for all of us, and I'll live with the consequences. Where are we? Liberty of the Clink. There she is. Only my plague thus far I count my gain. That she makes me sin, awards me pain. All right. This better be the one that gives us who she is. I know who she's not. She's not Anne Hathaway. Has to be one of those. Only one. I think we can do something with this. Okay. We know it's the heart, and we know it must be crown or one of those. So it has to be one of these. Wait a minute. Okay. It could be that and that. Rattle and those two. So Anne says it's either rattle or crown or ring. Thanks, James. Crown and ring? Let's see if it's those. Is there a way we can prove that? So let's see. Oh. We know that's a 1, right? Hold on. That is not the case. If that's a 2. Crown and heart, that checks out. There. Here, ring checks out. Here, crown checks out. Here, ring checks out. Here, heart and crown checks out. Here, crown checks out. And the top one, heart checks out. So that is a possibility. We've eliminated those for sure. Could we replace one of those with a rattle? It would have to replace that one for it to be a rattle. is that possible? Because that makes that doable. That makes that doable. It does not make that doable, so it can't be the rattle in that regard. Can't be that combination. Could it be this combination? Heart and rattle and crown can't be that combination. So it can't be the rattle. Could it be that instead of this? Then that is possible. Here, that's doable. Here, not doable, so it can't be that. What if it were here? Heart in only one of those. Okay, let's say that were a 1, just indulge me. Then here, that doesn't work. So no, that doesn't work either. So pretty sure that's how it looks. Rattle quill. Okay, just for argument's sake, let's say it were that. Heart rattle checks out. Just a quill checks out. Just a quill checks out. Just a rattle checks out. Heart and quill checks out. Rattle only checks out. And heart only checks out. So that is possible. So those are the two combinations. Those three or those three. Heart ring crown or heart quill rattle. Yep. Oh God, we still have one more. That is so frustrating. Okay. Those are the possibilities now. She is moving 6. And here we go. 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6. And so she will end up right there. We know she's there. That will go away. And then it's her turn. She moves. She is there, or she is there. Medieval Tinder is a right pain. That's funny. And he cannot move there. We rendezvous now. At least we can get that out of the way, hopefully. You're right, 7, not 6. Did I only count 6? So there, and then she moves one more, which is to a church. So she's either there or there, and now he moves there. And now we will go. I apologize. Math, hard. 2 away from the clink. So 2 away from here is there. Can't be a church. Can't be church or rural. So we then have eliminated. It is at a commerce area. There we go. So we know where the rendezvous is. So we got that part. So there's 15 points. We won't automatically lose. Her turn. She moves to Cornhill. And he will come here. Does anybody remember how she's moving from there? Ooh. I think she moves out to Bishopsgate, or... So, you know what? We're going to move there because there's 2/3 of a chance he won't go there. Won't. There or there. He comes here. We move there. He cannot follow, and she is there. Well, we know for a fact that she's in Cornhill. He doesn't follow. We have to move to Eastcheap. Hopefully she goes to the pub. Although I think we might be in a lot of trouble right now. She did not. So she either moves to Bishopsgate or to Cripplegate. He moves there. We'll move there, and hopefully she comes back. I don't think she does, but she goes to the rural area, which is there or there. He moves there. Now what? I ain't got a clue as to what to do. I think either way we're going to lose. I think we are. But I'm thinking Bishopsgate. I think so. I agree. I think we go Bishopsgate and just pray. All right, well, she's moving there, there, or there. So we would have to make two guesses. That she's there, and then which of these it is. Y'all tell me. What do you want to do? You've been here this long. Do we think she's at Bishopsgate? All right. Well, y'all say yes, so here we go. And there's only one of those left anyways, so... Oh, wait, nope. That comes back. Here we go. She's in Bishopsgate. We're not going to take the clue. Okay. Left combination, right combination. When I get 3 answers that match, that's what we're going to go with. All right, Peanut Gallery. It's all up to y'all. I am going to put down a number on the coin. 1 is left, 2 is right, and I have done that, and my hands are off the die. I have chosen my number. Left, left, left. James says right. Go ahead, keep going. Put your answers out there. Oh, wow. Alec, confident. All right, so to be clear, that is a 1 on that die. Okay, so I had chosen left to keep calm there because the 2 is there and the 6 is opposite. So I had chosen the left side as well. All right, so the lefts have it. Okay, so we're saying heart, ring, crown. But first, we have to confirm that the rendezvous was in a romantic commercial area. It is a commercial area. Woo! Add 15 points if we win. Okay, so that was successful. That was correct. We're going to have fun with this. Okay. It is a ring, a heart, and the crown. Elizabeth Vernon. We have chosen correctly, y'all. We won. Elizabeth Vernon was the Dark Lady. All right, so let's score it. All right. So if you successfully identified the Dark Lady, you may optionally tally your score. Okay, so count the number of cards on top of the stealth deck up to but not including the countdown card. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 cards. Okay, and there's the countdown card. So there were 5 left. Multiply the number shown on the countdown card by the number of stealth cards in the sequence. 26 times 0 is 0. And add this to your count. 0 plus 5 is 5. Then add 2 points for every card left in the fog deck and apply any adjustments for difficulty. 5, there's 1 card. That's 7. 7 plus 15 for the rendezvous is 22. 22 is a golden lad or golden girl. There we go. That's hard. It doesn't help when you screw up the count. My bad. Sorry, y'all, on that. I like the expansion. I find it not highly mechanically difficult. Like, there's not a whole lot of overhead with it, although you have to remember she moves. Poet moves, you move. And the thing is, when you search, to make sure that you count right, search, and then she gets to take her turn after you search. And that just having a little like flow chart on that, which, to be full disclosure, it's actually here, but I forget to look at that. So there we go. Yeah, it also doesn't help when you're 7 clues and are still at 50-50. The darker ladies are definitely difficult, as you noticed. That was on the lowest difficulty of the darkest ladies because it says the hearts and clubs were the easiest, and we actually got the hearts to start. So I guess maybe we were on the second of 4 levels. I don't know if the clubs are easier than the hearts, but it's definitely more difficult for sure. That coupled with the rendezvous, which I thought was cool. Thank you for that. And I have no idea what that name is. That is 2 different languages. I will. Give me a moment. Now I'm curious. Flax. I feel an obligation here, so I apologize, everybody. A moment. Flaxronia. I don't know if that's correct or not, but nonetheless, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. That was kind. Yeah, and we found her. We did get lucky early on. So the difficulty definitely seems ramped up with the expansion, and as you add more of the expansion, be it the Rendezvous and the Darker Ladies, and the rival poet, the aggressive poet. So the difficulty, the luck factor plays a bigger part in a sense that because it becomes more difficult, that you have to get luckier, I think, to be able to get some of those. I liked all of those. Obviously we haven't played with the Fair Youth one, which that just ramps the difficult. I feel like, and this is, I don't know yet, but I would feel like the Fair Youth might be enough added difficulty to just add that one module in and not add in the aggressive poet. Maybe you go with the easier poet. I don't know. And not the Darker Ladies and not the Rendezvous. I think that might be a bridge too far doing all of that with the Fair Youth. I think the Fair Youth by itself will probably, that's two really difficult deductions that you would have to get through. You could always extend how many times you go through the deck, or you could shorten that, so there's difficulty in that. There's a whole bunch of different ways that you could go. The other added difficulty you can do is to where there is a way to set up the deck. Let me show you all. To where always moves every turn, doesn't always, may not move. So may stay in the same place. And there are other combinations of that. So there are lots of ways to vary up the difficulty as well as just the randomness of the setups, to where I don't know that this would get stale after dozens of plays. I think it would still be insanely fresh in that regard for just, it's not going to be the same puzzle every time. There's just unlikely to happen. So really well done. I stick by what I said last time, that if you like deduction / logic puzzles and you like, you know what, if you like those, and I love those, I have a book of just logic puzzles and deduction puzzles. If you enjoy those, this is a must get. It's that simple. It doesn't take a big footprint. Yeah, I can't say enough good things. I think this is a fantastic solo game and a fantastic experience in general. Yeah. There you go. That's it. So that is Black Sonata and the expansion. So thank you to everybody out there. Thanks for helping out and thanks for playing along. That made it more enjoyable for me. It always does with these solo streams. Big thanks to Shrey for turning me on to the game, for first and foremost, and let me borrow his copy. So thank you, Shrey, for that. I really, really appreciate that. Yeah, and Drew says, right, and if you get the same one after playing all of them, what's the likelihood that you remember? Not likely at all. So that was really good. Definitely enjoyed it. If y'all haven't checked out the podcast, go check that out on your favorite podcast app, not Spotify. Unfortunately, Spotify is not going to happen anytime in the near future. Other than that, like, subscribe, consider supporting the show over on patreon.com/HCHQ. And that's it. I think that was it for the week's schedule content other than the podcast. You got another episode coming out late in the weekend. So listen for that. And other than that, I believe I will... Oh, no! We have Oath on Sunday. I apologize. We have game day here Saturday, and we have Oath noon on Sunday. So be sure to tune in for Chapter 2 of Oath. That's it. I'm out of here. Thanks, everybody. Take care. Be kind to one another. All right? Take care. Whew. Got lucky, but some days it's better to be lucky than good.